Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to the shed. I got some news today. We've been thinking about it for over a year now, and we finally started going through the process of moving, going to the north, up in northern Indiana. And we've got a bid on a house, and they accepted, and we're starting through the paperwork and all that good stuff for owning our own house. Now, this video is the pros and cons of leaving West Virginia, the mountains, for the flatlands of Indiana. We've been up there visiting a few times, and mainly it was nice to get back to the mountains after a while. I don't know. It's just something you got to get used to, I guess, going to the flatlands and the cornfields and all that good stuff. But, yeah, where we're going is pretty close to the top of the state, not too far from Chicago, Illinois, right across. I think it might be an hour drive, maybe a little bit longer, depending on traffic, I guess. So that is one pro of going there, that I actually could go somewhere like Chicago the first time I've ever been. I've never been there, so it'd be my first time, and going to like toy shops and just other things there in that area that you would like to see in Chicago. And I think that would be a good pro of going that way, because I've never been up that way before. A con? The cold. Yeah, we get snow and stuff here, and it gets cold here, but we have the mountains to keep us in the valley, and you know, don't get too much of that wind and stuff. Up there it's flat, so you're going to get a lot of wind and a lot more snow, because they're not too far from some of the lakes up there. You get that lake effect snow, and could get 20 and 30 inches dumped on you, I guess. But I've lived through a few storms here in West Virginia, so that might be a little bit of a con, I guess, because it's going to be even colder probably at times in the winter. And we will probably be moving, well, we definitely will be moving in the winter. We're going up in December to do the finalize and all that good stuff for the house. So, yeah, flat land, winds and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah, that'd be a definitely con. Another con is leaving family and friends here and stuff. Now, I've lived here most of my life. I did move away 2 different times. Once when I was like 19, I lived in Virginia Beach for 2 years. And 1 year, well, not even about 6 months, I moved to Fredericksburg back in 2012. My stepdad passed away, and then I moved back to help my mom and stuff, and I just stayed. I never went back again, so that's a con. You know, I still have my son here and stuff. My daughter lives in Florida. My mama lives here, and you know, the grandbabies, which I don't get to see a whole lot, you know. So, you know, our family's really kind of small. Her family is not real big, but they're into more visiting and doing family things. And you know, they've been without Rhonda for 5 years now. We just went up, you know, in the summer times. And the last 2 times she's flown up, I didn't even get to go up because I couldn't get off from work and stuff. So, you know, they've got to see her a few times a year. But, you know, she stayed here not really knowing a whole lot of people. And, you know, just me and her basically, you know. And then, you know, my kids, my daughter come in from Florida and stuff like that to see her and stuff, and see my mom and stuff like that. But, yeah, that's a big con right there. Another pro, I kind of be only 2.5 hours from Indianapolis, and there's some more toy shops and some more cons and stuff up that way. Froggy Flips has one, yes, that and their first one is in March of next year, March 1st. Well, it'll be their 4th one. Hoosier Con 4 that I would love to go to, and only 2.5 hours away. You betcha I'm going to it. So, you know, stuff to do with my hobby and stuff. Maybe more stores to shop at and stuff. More restaurants, different kinds of restaurants that I'm not used to having. One of them's White Castle. That'll be a pro. When we do go up that way, we've always at least stopped once or twice at White Castle. They're in Ohio and in Indiana, but they're not here in West Virginia or Virginia area where we live. So that's a pro for your boy that likes little White Castle burgers. Now a con, well, it's kind of pro and a con. The con is losing the shed. It's going to cost way too much money to ship it up that way or tow it up that way, however you want to look at it. So I'm going to put it on the market and sell it. But the good thing is, the pro, I'm getting a 2-car garage, which I'm going to convert. If I have a picture right now, I can show you the picture. It needs insulated. It needs some tender loving care. It needs some sheetrock, some paint. It's going to need a little bit of a bunch of stuff. But in time, it will be the ultimate man cave for me, because it's going to be maybe 3 or 4 of the sheds. It's going to be a big area. So I can even put a couch in there, put a TV in there. I can run the internet there, and maybe I can do some live streaming and stuff there. I can just, do all kinds of stuff. My stuff here that makes it look like it's so full is going to be so empty when I get there, because, I'm going to have so much more room once I get it done. I want to paint the floor too. There's a certain kind of paint that you can paint the concrete floors. I want to do that too. I want to do it right this time. I mean, I threw up some panel on here, and I had some pegboards and stuff. And yeah, I might still put up a pegboard or two for stuff to hang on the wall. But I want to get some other kind of things. I want to get something like, like this right here.
These LED display cubes are straight up fire. You can snap them together however you want using the included connectors, and it's easy to build out your own custom layout. Perfect spot for keyboards, collectibles, speakers, even a full-on sneaker wall if you're a Kicks collector. Unlike regular storage boxes that need extra light strips, these come with built-in lighting effects. The glow is super even and makes everything inside look next level clean. The lights can also sync with your music, which adds a whole vibe to the room. Right now, Temu's got them at a crazy good price. Time to lock it in before they're gone.
Now, I'm not sure exactly how much them cost yet. I haven't checked into it. But that, or maybe some glass carios or something that matches, and I want to paint and stuff. So them right there are really cool, because they're just, they light up. They're clear. There's no panel or anything on the sides. There's no wood or anything. So you don't really, you put stuff like that, it's going to match, So that, I think that would be good for my figures and stuff like that, and other things. Splitting it up a little bit between that and my cars and everything else that I have here in this shed. A lot more room there. So that's a pro. And the con is just having to pack all this shit up. But I have moved and moved and moved over the years. If you watch my videos for 10 years, I've moved a bunch of different times. And there's times I moved that I didn't even do videos in between or after or before. That's I'm tired of moving, people. So this is it. This is the move. I'm going to buy a house, settle down. The house needs a little bit of work. It needs a little bit of paint, some more extra trimming and stuff here and there. Just some small little things and stuff. Need to buy a washer and dryer, because where we rent here, it's not our washer and dryer, so we're gonna have to rent. So selling this and getting some money from this shed will help go into a lot of that stuff. So that'll be pretty good. So you don't have to, struggle when you first get there. But it is going to be winter time, so the shed. I always so used to saying the shed, not the shed. The garage will have to wait a little while until it gets a little warmer, maybe. So I'll be doing videos everywhere else but where my collection's at, because for a month or two it's probably going to be in boxes. So that's a con. Trying to think of anything else I can go through and tell you about. Well, Rousey's going to have her. She'll have an office. She's got, it's really only it says 2 bedrooms, but it's actually got a little loft area that, we're going to kind of make into, it's not, you go up the stairs, you go to the right, you could put stuff there. You could put like a bed or something there. We got railing to put there. Little area for the kids to sleep at when they come over, grandbabies and stuff. And then, you know, at first Rhonda was going to make that her office, but I told her, you know, she's going to be having surgery here in a few months. She's not going to be able to go up and downstairs a whole lot. So maybe the bedroom downstairs would be better to make into an office, and then make that for the kids, because they're not living there and they're not always going to be there, the grandbabies and stuff. So it's just when they go to bed over there. And they'll be right next door to us in the upstairs, you know, room. So the house is not real big, but it's big enough for just me and her. It has a utility room too, and it needs work done in there. So putting some panel and stuff up. Has a pretty big kitchen, a lot bigger than what we got here in a trailer. That's a big pro right there. And her office will be a little bit bigger because she's got bookshelves. She's got a TV stand and a TV and a bunch of other stuff like that to put in there. And of course my movies. They can't go in the garage because it's not, I heard there's bad stuff happens to disc rot and different things that can happen to, you know, that. So anybody got any other suggestions and stuff like that? If there is a ways that you can do that, I don't know. I don't know exactly because I've never had a garage, but you know, I didn't put them up here because of that reason. Getting hot, getting cold, stuff like that. Loose figures and different things like that. It's not really bothering. They say carded stuff kind of messes stuff up sometimes when it gets so hot or whatever. I think it'll be a lot cooler because the garage is by itself and there is trees around. Where we're here, there's trees behind me, but there's none in front of me. So sun beats right down on this place and it gets hot sometimes. So I got all the windows opened up, fan going. I can still put an air conditioner in the garage, but I think it'll be a lot cooler. So that's a good pro right there. And I think that might be about it, really. You know, just waiting to get the okay and come back and start packing up after we go up. We're gonna go up there. I think it's December 11th, 12th, and 13th. We're gonna go up there for about 4 or 5 days and finish out the paperwork and everything goes smooth by then, and won't have no problems. And then come back, start packing, and probably moving around Christmas time. I know that's crazy, but you know, last year we skipped Christmas. We didn't even have Christmas. We didn't get a chance to get any of the grandbabies. My son didn't get to come over. My mom didn't either. It was just like, I was just like, we're really not doing anything. So we didn't do it. It was a problem. My wife said it was the saddest Christmas she had ever had, and I don't want to keep having stuff like that, Christmases like that. If nobody's gonna get to come over, you know, it's just the way it is, you know. So get up there, and you know. And another thing is, we're gonna be living directly behind her son. You go through some little bit of some trees area, and you're gonna end up in his backyard. It's gonna be, that'll be different, but it'll be good too in a way. You know, if you need something, he's gonna help out a lot with. Her son's gonna help out a lot with cutting and trimming some trees up and stuff. His buddies are going to help because there is one that goes over the garage a little too far. It needs trimmed up a little bit. There's some around power lines. I guess we're going to have to contact the power company and get them to fix that, and maybe even cut 1 or 2 down. But we're going to try to keep. We got these big pine trees up, so we're going to try to keep them up for shade and stuff. And the backyard has a fire pit, which is nice. And a big deck on the back, so that's nice too. And maybe later on we'll put a roof on it. It's just a regular deck right now, but it is a lot bigger than our decks here on the trailers. So really, that's it. We're going to buy a house. Yes, we're buying a house in northern Indiana, you know, and there's 2 main shops that's in that area that I want, well, close by. One of them is Moreau Collectibles. I've been to that one, and I did a video there, and I bought some Ghostbusters stuff there before, and I bought some old Matchbox cars and Hot Wheels from my other channel. And then there's another one, Crown Point. I think it's about an hour away. I think the other one, Moreau's, about 30 minutes away. And then, like I said, you go to Chicago, and there's a bunch of stuff there. So stuff for the hobby, stuff for the videos. I definitely will have more places to film and stuff. That's a pro. And you know, ain't no reason I still can't come back here. I still got family here and stuff to come and see and stuff. So it's about a 9-hour drive. It's a good little haul. So getting a U-Haul and driving that way, it's going to be a long trip. But if I have to go to Florida to see my daughter, I told her I'm going to have to fly because it'd be like 16 hours then. So, but that's what's going on. You're still going to be seeing videos right now for a little while. I'm not going to stop doing videos totally. I am going to kind of cut back on buying stuff. But in a few weeks, we do have the Hickory show. So that's the big shebang for me, going to Hickory show with Brandon 1. Maybe Brandon 2 will go, and maybe even another Brandon might go. So we will have 3 Brandons if they all go. And we'll meet up with Tony from Radford area, and try to have one big old shebang there, and you know, have fun, look at toys, film toys, talk toys, go out to eat, hang out with the fellows one good last time before the holidays come around and everybody's busy and we are moving. So that's it from MovieJohn. We're actually going to move to Indiana.